Okay, Math in Focus, Chapter 12.4. This is comparing measurements in time. So from the book, these are things that we need to know. Like Mr. Triumphy said, the charts are super helpful. So I put that on my screen here. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So the clock ticks around 60 times. After that, a minute goes by. In comparison, 60 minutes around the clock is 1 hour, and those are two things that we're going to need to know. So looking here, I also found a little poster for you guys. Example 1, converting from minutes to seconds. So what is smaller, minutes or seconds? Seconds, that's right. So we're going to go from minutes to seconds. So minutes is bigger than seconds. So we're going from something larger to something smaller. So if you're going from something large like a horse, you're going to be going to something smaller like a fly. So it says horse to fly, multiply. If you're going from a large unit to a small one, you're going to multiply. So I'm going from minutes to seconds, large to small. Horse to fly, multiply. So I'm going to write down my conversion here. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Okay. I know that there are 2 minutes that they're trying to change to seconds. So I'm just going to say 2 minutes times, with my conversion, 60 seconds will give you my answer. So I have 2 times 60. Well, I know 2 times 6 is 12, and then all I have to do is add the 0 for the tens. So in 2 minutes, there are 120 seconds. This one's harder to draw pictures because you're more or less working with numbers and trying to convert from big to small or small to big. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Same thing's going to go on. So I need to know that how many 4 minutes is equal to how many seconds. Okay, I'm going to set it up the exact same way. I'm going to write down what I know. In 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. So in 4 minutes, okay, horse to fly, multiply. Okay, same thing. I'm going from something big to something small, minutes to seconds, horse to fly. Okay, so I can take my 4. I'm going to rewrite that down. So let me 4 times, and then how many seconds do I need to multiply by? Because I have 1 minute here. I'm going to 4 minutes. Yep, so that's 4 times as many, so 60 times 4. So I know 4 times 6 is 24, and then multiplying by 10, I just add a 0. So in 4 minutes, there are 240 seconds. Okay, looking at the last example here, this has a fraction in it. So looking here, I have 2/5 of an hour equal how many minutes? Okay, hour to minutes. Is hour bigger than minutes? Yep, an hour is definitely longer than minutes. So I'm going from something big to something small. So horse to fly, multiply, still going the same way. Let's write down what we know. In 1 hour, there are how many minutes? 60. If you can't remember that, we'll just go right back to the chart. So 60 minutes. So again, I'm going to rewrite this. 2/5 times 2/5 times how many minutes again in an hour? 60. Okay, now 60 you probably don't remember. 60 is a whole number, so having to multiply a fraction by a whole number, all I'm going to do is take the number 60 and I'm going to put it over the number 1. 60 over 1 is the same thing as writing the whole number 60. Okay, and then just in case you forgot how to multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. We multiply the denominator, the bottom on the number, straight across, and then we multiply the numerator, the numbers on the top, straight across. So let's start with the top. 2 times 60. Okay, well I know 2 times 6 is 12, and then all I have to do is add a 0 because that's my friendly 10. Whenever you multiply something by 10, you can really just add the 0 at the end. And then we have 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. That's right. Okay, now here's going to be the tricky part. You're going to need to figure out 120 over 5 is kind of like writing 5 divided by 20. So how many times can 5 go into 120? And if you want to, you can use a calculator. If you if you divide that out, 120 divided by 5 is actually 24. So in 2/5 of an hour, we only make it through 24 minutes. Okay, and I know this can kind of be tricky, but if I look just to guess, 2 divided by 5, I know that 2 is almost half of 5, and half an hour is 30 minutes, so this number is right because it is directly close to that. Alright, looking here, same thing, except they wrote it out a little bit different. They got rid of the conversion for you. So we're going from 215 seconds, and we need to make that into minutes to seconds. So let's look here. We're going from seconds to minutes. Is that something small to something big, or something big to something small? Are seconds bigger or are minutes bigger? That's right, minutes are bigger. So we're going from small to large. So we're going to use the bottom part of my chart here. It says fly to horse, divide of course. So we're going to be dividing because we need groups. It's like that grouping from the other day. So I'm going to take 215 here. I'm just going to rewrite what I already know. 215, and I know because it said fly to horse, I'm taking my small measurement and I'm dividing it by my big one. So I know that 215 divided by, now I can't divide it by 1, but I know that we're going to be using seconds. I'm going to divide it by 60 because 215 divided by 1 isn't going to get me anywhere. I have to divide it by my conversion that I know, which is my seconds to minutes. So I'm going to do 215 divided by 60. Okay, so 215 divided by 60 is going to give me, it's going to give me 3. With a remainder, my calculator shows 0.58, so we'll round that to, let's see, 3 times 60 is 180, so 215 minus 180. It's going to give me 35, so 3 with a remainder of 35. So I know that this one is going to be my minutes because we divided 60 by it. So I'm just going to rewrite it now, 3 minutes and, oops, I already had it there, 35 seconds. Okay, so I like to use this chart to help me because it can be confusing sometimes. Do I divide or do I multiply? But if you look at your conversions and how, in your measurements, how are you going from one thing to the next, this could be very helpful for you.